everyone, in today's video I'm going to be talking to you about a recent thing I went to called Jog With Your Dog, which was run by Pawsitive Fitness Ireland. This was a Canicross event, so it was a competition for those who wanted to be a competition, and then it was more of just a relaxed social event with dogs for people who just wanted to do it in a more relaxed manner, and that's what we chose to do. This was a one-day event, so all of the stuff was happening in the single day, but they did say that we were going to be able to camp the night before if we wanted, so that's what we chose to do. So I got these really handy mats off of Amazon. They're like waterproof on the base with some, you know, those little kind of grippy dots on them. And then the top of it is really soft and it's got squishy stuff inside, and it's sewed along in lines so that it's less likely for them to like shove all the stuffing to one side if they're lying on it a lot, which I find happens when you give dogs old pillows and things. They weren't that expensive either. They're only like 20 or 25 per, which I know is expensive for two of them and such, but alternatively I was looking at those foam squares for the ground and they would have been far, far more expensive in the long run. So we packed up and we headed up the night before. We got attacked by some crows.
They know I have food. They know.
And once we escaped those crows, we were well and safe and on our way to the Camak Valley Tourist Caravan and Camping Park. So this was a really nice place. It was very well upkept. Myself and my mother are used to camping with the guides, which is like the female version of Scouts. And usually it's a field in the middle of nowhere with a toilet, maybe. This was just really nice. There was a little camp kitchen, there was bathrooms, there was facilities, there was like a little shop and stuff. It was glamping in comparison to what we were used to. So we were very, very pleased with there. The people were super friendly, and one of the really, really good things was right beside us there was actually an off-lead dog area. So what we did was we set up the tent, we put everything where it's meant to be. I brought my reptile incubator with me. I set it to 4 degrees and we used that as a tiny fridge for Beauty's insulin, because it's the one thing I haven't really gone camping with the dogs that much because it's very difficult for me to bring her insulin with me. So I need somewhere that has an outdoor extension lead stuff and not middle of nowhere fields. I need it to be an actual campsite that will allow dogs that I can have electricity. So once all of that was set up, we got to let them go and have some fun in the dog park, and this is just a quick little snippet that my mother recorded while we were there, and she has a really, really bad phone in comparison to me, so I'm sorry. After the trip down, and Pickle does get car sick, so it was a bit stressful for her, the trip down and setting up everything and then getting to go to a dog park and so on and so forth, the two dogs actually slept amazingly well. I figured Pickle would be up in my face all night. She wasn't. I woke up and both of them were just like this, just passed out, couldn't care less, slept through the night, no problem whatsoever. We were kind of close to an airport, so there were plane sounds, which did bug them for about 20 minutes, and then they figured out that it was okay and all was well. The following morning was the day of the race itself, so we kind of hung back for a bit because, as I said before, neither dog has actually attended a race. Like I do Canicross to a point with them around the city where I am and up the Greenway. It's a big area that Ireland has where it's a load of, it's just a really long cycle path basically around where there's no cars, there's no really people. It's fairly secluded, and I'll go with them on that, and it's a nice straight trail for them to run along and they have a great time. And when I say run, I mean me walking fast. I'm not very good at running. But they absolutely loved it when they got going. Pickle did really, really, really well. She especially did very well when we were behind other dogs or passing other dogs, which I was very, very happy about.
Pickle, please. Apparently lots of dogs have peed on this part. I can't go step on this damn harness. Lead, whatever it's called. Good girl.
Now, as you may have noticed, she wasn't particularly, super focused, running straight ahead, proper picture like whatever that movie is with the huskies and the snow and the sled, going for it. No, she didn't particularly care. She was just having a great time. She really loved stopping and sniffing everything, and that's entirely fine. I just wanted her to have a positive experience so that in future we can get more and more focused on actually gaining speed and going where we want to go without her suddenly stopping dead or being scared of the other dogs or not being sure of the lead hitting her ankles if she suddenly stops and things like that. The track that Pickle went on, Pickle's route, was a 3K long route. So it went over a few different places. It was mostly grass. There was a few areas where it was kind of woodland ground, dirt and little bits of wood chips and leaves and such, because this is at the start of October is when this happened. I know, it's been a little while, I'm sorry. But anyway, so there was like leaves on the ground, and it was kind of a chilly day, but it did end up getting really sunny near the end, so everyone was sweating. So it was altogether a very positive experience, and it was really interesting seeing her have a great time just running around sniffing things and seeing other dogs.
Hey, Pickle. Hey, Ray. Good girl. Come on. Come on, good girl. Well done. Well done, guys. Hi. Well done.
We only stopped to say hi to about 50 people.
Awesome. Hey, Pickle. She looks like she could go again.
She could. I could.
So altogether, Pickle's route was 3 kilometers, just a little bit over because it counted us just walking around afterwards before I turned off my watch. And we did it all together in around half an hour because we did walk very slowly. I let her stop and sniff all the things, and there was a few dogs we passed that she wanted to stop and say hi to, and all of the people... Pickle, shush! All of the people along the way who were like showing us where the corners were and such, she had to stop and say hi to every single one. So we were very, very slow, but she had a great time. Beauty's run went fairly similarly, but Beauty is a lot more focused on the task, so she's had more practice, she is older. When she's in this harness, she kind of puts down her head and then she pays attention to just going forward. She doesn't particularly care about people or other dogs and things, but she was a bit slower than she should have been because she recently did hurt her hip, and, well, not recently, but a few months ago she hurt her hip, so I wanted her to take it very easy in this. I didn't want her to be overdoing it and getting too hyped. So Beauty was entered in a shorter race, which was made for kind of older dogs that have some sort of disability like blindness or 3 legs and stuff like that. And so she was in just a group of other rather chill older dogs. So she was a bit nervous of them at the start, but she did chill out and she went on her way, and we got ahead of everyone just so she could have her private time to herself running along. And by the end of it, we ended up at the back of the pack. I don't know what happened, but she just decided suddenly, she was like, oh no, I'm going to walk this. I'm not going to jog this at all. I'm just going to walk along, have a great time. So yeah, whatever she wanted to do. So altogether, she ended up covering this distance you can see here. It was closer to the 1 kilometer or the 1.2 because, again, like before, we ended up wandering along a bit after the finishing line before we went up to collect our medals. After both of the races had been done, Pickles happened, and then immediately after it was Beauty, so I kind of was going back to back. I was rather tired, and there was a mini kind of fun dog show, and Pickle actually won a ribbon. She won the runner-up prize of Best Pup. So all in all, I think it was a pretty successful run for a first time trying the Canicross, like officially with other dogs and such that aren't just like friend dogs we have and such. So I think it did really well. I think they enjoyed it. I think it was just an all-around pleasant experience, and they were absolutely knackered when we were done. So we had a cover in the back seat because, as I mentioned, Pickle does get car sick and she's not too pleased in the car. And I don't drive myself, so I can't get her used to the car myself, which is a pain. But they passed out dead asleep in the back. We got back to the campsite and staked them out for a bit, and there were rabbits around the place. And they didn't even care. They didn't even look at them. They saw the rabbit and they were like, yeah, okay, but no. So we staked them out. We had those stakes you put in the ground. We got a nice few little pictures with them and their medals on. Pickle literally was falling asleep while I was trying to take the picture. So we left them be. They passed out. We packed up the camp. We took down our tent and everything, and we headed on home. At the end of the race, we did get a goodie bag for each of the races. So I got one for Pickle and one for Beauty. And there were a load of little goodies in it. These are just some of the ones that are more dog specific that were in there, but there were also like some cereal bars and some jellies and things like that for people as well. And there were some frozen things that they really liked. They were from Phoenix Bark is where they're from, and they were like raw feed, but little sausages. One was turkey and one was beef, and oh my god, they devoured them. That was their post-run snack. So just a huge thank you to everyone who did sponsor the event and anyone who did contribute stuff to those goodie bags, because they were absolutely amazing and they were really, really appreciated after doing the run and after having the day. So those people are Atlas and Tail, Ruby Reese, Phoenix Bark, Canine Kim, Humex Supplements Ireland, Jerry, who supplied the Fulfill protein bars, and Spar Waterville, who provided some other human snacks like little Haribos and little Maryland cookies. It was an absolutely fantastic day. There was 5k runs for people, there was 5k untimed, and there was 3k timed, there was 3k untimed. 3k untimed is what Pickle did. Then there was the special classes for the older dogs or dogs with disabilities. And then there was another one as well, which was like a quiet one with a quiet start and a quiet finish for people who might need just a little bit less noise and a little bit less fuss on their walk that they'd prefer. So people say with autism or people who just want to be a little bit more chill, that was an option as well. So it was really, really open to everyone, and it was just a fantastic introduction. The dogs were absolutely passed out until the next morning at about 5 a.m. when they woke me up thinking we were doing it all again. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I'll do my absolute best to help. And hopefully I will upload more videos like these soon, because I'm hoping to do a run kind of like this every 2 months or so from now on. So fingers crossed that's how it goes. Thank you very much.